Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Um Today I really want to talk about married single mothers, okay? Um so okay. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this term before, but I felt like I've experienced it, right? So what I describe it as you feel like you're married, but you feel like you're single because the man doesn't help with anything around the house, like anything that has to do with the kids, anything that has to do with like housework, anything that has to do with like anything domestic. It's like there's a conception that because you're a woman, you're supposed to take on all the responsibilities of the household, right? And at a certain point in time, it used to be that way where men used to be able to go out and work and then they could support the household while the woman would stay home and rear the children and take care of the household. But now that we're in 2024, a lot of people still have the mindset, or a lot of men still have the mindset. Some women do still have the mindset also, but it's a mindset of the same thing when times have changed and women are working just as much as men are working, right? Trying to provide for a household, especially in the economy that we're in, right? So, for me and my personal experience, I have 4 kids. I had them all like stair steps. My kids are like a year apart. So when I say I was pregnant for like 5 years, I was pregnant for like 5 years. To the point where it kind of got embarrassing, where like I didn't even want to tell people I was having another child. Like that's how bad it got. So, um, you know, and I'm very grateful, don't get me wrong, because there are people out here that are having a hard time, that can't have children. So I count myself blessed, but it was a very overwhelming experience having 4 kids back to back to back like that. It was just really overwhelming and really exhausting to your body, because your body takes on a lot of it, changes as your pregnancy goes on. So as each kid came, it just got more and more overwhelming, to the point where all my kids were in daycare at one time. And it was hard. And it would be days where I would be like, okay, babe, well, I do have to get the kids to daycare before I go to work, but is it possible for you to make their formula? I mean, at least pack their lunches. You know what I mean? That's one less thing I have to do in the morning aside from getting them dressed. And every morning I would get up and their lunches would not be packed. So now I'm rushing to work. I'm trying to get 4 kids out the door. And, you know, in their lunches, you go look in the refrigerator and he hasn't done it. And it's just like, oh, I forgot. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I forgot. And it was just like, I don't know, that weaponized incompetence. Like, you're not competent enough to remember to pack their lunches, but I can't forget to pack their lunches, because if I do forget it, then, they don't eat. You know what I mean? And it was just a really overwhelming time. And I remember having conversations about this stuff, and it was like it was expected of me to like make him breakfast, make lunch, make dinner. You know what I mean? And it's just exhausting after a while. And it's like, Jesus Christ, like sometimes he would help, but a lot of times it was just all on me, whether it's like cleaning up after, dinner, cleaning, cooking, like making sure things are in order, and like even little other things, little business things, like making sure the dentist appointments, doctor's appointments, like that type of stuff, and it was just overwhelming to a point where I just felt like I was doing it by myself. And because I felt like I was doing it by myself, it really puts a man in a place where it's almost like it makes you think like, do I really need this person? You know what I mean? Like, is this person going, is this, if I leave this person or leave this relationship or leave this marriage, does my life get easier or does my life get harder? You know what I mean? Without having to care for that extra person. And this extra person, it could be something as simple as like leaving something on the floor. You know what I mean? Leaving your clothes on the floor, and not picking it up and then I'm coming behind to pick it up, or leaving it next to the hamper, or just those little tiny things that really make it like, you know what I mean? It just really makes life frustrating. So I remember having a conversation and saying, okay, well, that's a lot for me. You know what I mean? Because the cooking, the cleaning, everything, the kids, caring for the kids, all that stuff, not having a break, right? It became very overwhelming for me. So we had a conversation about it. And he was basically telling me, like, oh, my mom was a single mother and my mom did it all, right? And I had to just tell him, like, listen, you want me to be your mom? You didn't marry your mom. You understand what I'm saying? And it was more so like, all right, your mom did all those things because she had to. I have a husband. Your mom didn't have a husband, right? So because I have a husband, don't you think my life should be easier? You know what I mean? Like, not only like am I helping you with half of the bills, like I'm trying to do like the lion's share of the load in the house. You know what I mean? And it's just like you're just supposed to take that and just, oh, I'm so proud of how clean my home. I couldn't keep my house clean. I couldn't keep it clean. You know what I mean? I was just exhausted by the whole experience of being married and everything. And it was just like the shame that comes along with not being able to keep up with it, or not being able to be like the perfect housekeeper. You know what I mean? Even we would have conversations because the way our house was made up was there's 3 older children that are stepchildren, and then there's 4 children that are our children. So there's 7 children in this house. So it's like the house is very hard to keep clean. And I remember having a conversation with him and saying, is it possible that we can have a cleaner come in and clean once a week or whatever? Because it's just hard for me and it's overwhelming. And it was kind of more so like, you're just expected to do that. Like, why get a cleaner? Why do I have to pay for a cleaner when you can clean for free, right? And there's a lady that was talking about how men want things for free, right? They want their own personal maid. They want their own personal servant. They want their own personal butler for free. It's better.